Okay, so we now have Kwabna Amankwa Isiama in the studio, and we were just asking you, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, we were just talking about the textbook issue because an organization called VIAM Africa has its executive director calling on the Ghana Education Service to, with immediate effect, to withdraw those textbooks and have those factual inaccuracies corrected, and pointedly in the media, on social media platforms, you have one that talks about what is the use of the head, which the textbook says is supposed to be used in carrying load.
Well, I'm not very particular about what is going on now in the circles of the press as to this very particular issue.
But you've heard of this very issue?
I've been in the constituency campaign.
Okay,
so
let me tell you the scenario. The thing is, there was this aspect of the textbook which apparently somebody chanced on, I think an educationist,
right,
put it on social media, and how it even has the page captioned with a picture on social media.
A pictorial
yes.
something.
And so it's in a textbook. I think then is it general science or something of that sort, which says that you talk about the use of the body. When they got to the head, what's the use of the head? It said carrying load. And then you go to some other textbooks for which we have, for example, there are spelling mistakes. Some of the words have not been spelled correctly. And then also in the context in which some of them have been used also are misplaced. And particularly you have the primary 1 textbook titled The Natural Science for Primary Schools, primary 1. And we know that it's the formative year. So from kindergarten to nursery.
The formative.
That's the difficulty that many of these educationists seem to be having with the way the structure or the context or content of those textbooks are. What do you make of it? Because this one is a general knowledge issue.
It's something that it's very sad if in the education field something like this can happen. We know the Ministry of Education houses almost all teachers, right, in Ghana. And reading is purported to be the cardinal of education. So if books are being printed out, published to Ghana schools, I think it should go through several offices for proofreading before such books are released, published for schools. But if such a mistake, an unpardonable one, of course, can happen to miseducate our children, in no mean class like the lower classes where they form whatever they will have to dwell on in future, then I think it is not the best. And everybody or anybody who has been a contributor to this publication must bow his or her head down in shame.
Okay, let's not dwell too much on this very subject. I think the most topical issue from the weekend has been about how a certain managing director of a company on the Spinters Road was arrested, or perhaps whisked into the cells of the police or the BNI by BNI officials for allegedly taking shots of vehicles that were being branded in NDC logos and other branded materials and colors at a compound of a company on the Spinters Road. And we've had an onward response also from Mr. Baba Kamara, who is the National Security Advisor, and saying that, well, this and this, for this and these reasons, the gentleman was picked up. And I know that it's something that we're very much aware. The gentleman, though, has since been released. What do you make of the whole incident and following up to this very morning?
Well, I don't know, but you said that the man took pictures.
Allegedly.
That is the point, allegedly. Right? What BNI is saying that the pictures, right, can be presumed to have been taken from an angle where the man's house is. That is why the arrest. My problem is BNI and the police service, right? What is it a very thin line between the activities and that of the police, or what? All we know in this society is when you are given to the BNI, it means, hey, the case is big. The case is big. It's about something that affects the foundation of our security. Why should it happen? The BNI must go for him or her. But just a mere picture taken from one's premises, presumed, to taken from to the other side of the neighbor's yard, right? Why shouldn't the police even come in by the BNI? Does it affect the basics of our security? The police station, there's a police station in that premises or in that area. Why couldn't they have reported this simple case to the police for the police to handle this? You see, if the minister tends to use BNI in such a manner, I think the aura surrounding their activities as a very important sector that deals with people who want to affect our security as a nation will be something that people will be doubting, that they are using the BNI to intimidate, right? To cause mayhem to Ghanaians. Such an activity should have been taken by the police. Then why is the police there? Right? Because this should be a civil case. I'm not a lawyer, but I think this doesn't call in the BNI at all. So what I want to say is, Mr. Kamara should be very circumspect when it comes to the use of the BNI. If it continues like this, then everybody will say, then they will be using the BNI, or they are using the BNI to intimidate citizens. We have to be very careful the way we use the BNI.
Chiflos, on this very subject, for all the reasons for which we're speculating in the media, for which the gentleman was picked up and subsequently, of course, released, how do we place all these into context? How does the BNI fit in? And how do we even allegedly know that these vehicles really were not party vehicles, but were for the NCCE, according to what the reports are?
Yeah, thank you very much. I have also read through the story, and I'm actually amazed with the angle in which these branded party vehicles were first highlighted. That it belongs to the national, that is the
National Commission for Civic
Education. And that is being branded in NDC colors. You see, first of all, there's some form of mischief that is being played there. And the whole episode was shown on social media. It went viral.
Mischief being played by who?
Exactly. That is why maybe the National Security Advisor ensured that the BNI went into it to actually find out who was behind what was on social
because
media.
It's mischief.
No, sure. You see, the National Civic
National Commission for
Civic Education is a state institution responsible for, let's say, education of the citizens.
Communication.
Yeah, communicating and educating the citizens on national issues. Now, if the commission wants to procure vehicles, there are channels that they use in procuring vehicles. Even if government wants to buy vehicles for the national civic education at the national level, there is a channel. If government that is doing the purchases, it comes through maybe Parliament for approval, okay? If it is the entity, they have their entity tender committee, okay? So why should somebody just...
You are wondering at what instance or...
Yes, what necessitated that person to put that thing on social media to create the impression that vehicles that belongs to that organization.
Okay, let me ask you. You're a member of the NDC.
Yeah.
Since the story broke out, have you verified from your party leadership whether you have imported vehicles or you've gone to the market to purchase these vehicles? Because I look at these vehicles, they are like Mahindra vehicles.
Exactly.
And we know that we are almost in the election year.
Exactly.
So having vehicles for political party activity is not wrong at all.
Exactly.
But have you verified whether you really have made purchases or orders for such vehicles?
You see,
then that puts the speculation in context.
Yeah. I believe that the NDC as a social democratic party ensures that we are not, we don't play that affluence to the society. We are very moderate citizens who think that the resources can be used very judiciously. So if you realize in the last elections, those were the type of vehicles that were used by the party.
Nobody's questioning the type of vehicles.
Exactly. Now, as the elections, we are getting close to the elections now, and several, even if I don't even have the information that vehicles are being procured, but I know that several groups, individuals have started donating vehicles. So this is not something new, okay? It's getting to elections. Definitely the party will procure some vehicles. People will also donate vehicles in support of the party activities.
So you're saying, you're speculating this could be one of them?
Why not?
You're saying there's a possibility?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now let me ask you this. Why does it become a party issue? Then we have a state institution like the BNI coming in, for which we even have an appointed public person who is supposed to take actions on public issues, go and take an action on a party issue, which almost seems like a quasi-private person.
You see, I don't want to bring...
How does it become a national security issue?
I don't want to bring...
I was coming to asking.
I don't want to bring criminality in what we are discussing as of now. But you see, invading someone's privacy
is a BNI concern?
It's a security issue. It's a security issue.
They are invading whose privacy?
A private citizen. Why can't the private person take that initiative by reporting the case either to the BNI or to the police as he deems or she deems fit? And again, the vehicles have been moved from the premises.
Okay, let's watch the tape. As it was also broadcast on social media, and I know that we use a lot more.
See, they are moving the vehicles.
They have been branded.
They are moving them. So until this came out, until the BNI came out, or until the picture came out, the vehicles were there.
Okay,
they were in that place.
Are you not procuring vehicles?
Why can't? Excuse me.
Are you not procuring vehicles?
I understand. Then why do you do this?
Mr. Chairman, what is wrong if the NDC has vehicles it is branding?
There's nothing wrong.
That
is what we are saying.
Then the whole scenario is the action that the BNI
That is the point. Why should the BNI come in?
That what? Do they have something to hide?
They have something to hide.
Has
so
something
on
to
the trot, Ghanaians are believing that, it's our money that they are using to buy the vehicles.
That's speculation.
Don't do
that is speculation.
Because it's not being authenticated.
Then why should the state come in?
Don't do
Why should the state come in?
That's still speculation.
Why should the state come in? Why should the state come in? And it came from no mean a person than the minister responsible for internal security. Why? Why should
What is wrong with that?
No, the owner.
What is wrong with that?
No, the owner of that plot or that yard could have reported that company. No.
Who is the owner of the company? What is a Camera Limited also?
I don't know the owner of the company. Yes, if it's that same person, then in his capacity as
I don't know whether it's the same person. I'm talking about the owner of the company.
Maybe they relate.
I'm talking about the company name.
Maybe they relate.
It's called Camera Limited.
Yeah, and the man's name is Camara.
That's speculation again.
You see? So what we are saying is...
But what business...
If you have nothing to hide...
What business had whoever took the picture, when you see the height at which the picture was taken, you should know that, you would know that the picture was not taken by somebody on the compound. It was taken by somebody outside the compound. And it was taken at an elevated level. So it means that somebody was on a story building somewhere in the next compound.
Do you know you can use a ladder to elevate for that purpose?
Well, these days we even have drones.
That is the point. You see, the person who purportedly killed the MP, he used a ladder to get to where he was, up there, right? That is what we are hearing.
We're not talking
if
that
is
here.
True. No. So somebody,
you're saying
somebody could have. Yes, somebody could have.
Because, for example, you just look at the picture just beside you. You get to see that the person took the picture on the other compound or in the other compound at an elevated level. The person was upstairs somewhere. You're saying that the person could have been on a ladder?
No. There is a broader picture which is not this. There's a broader picture that shows a greater number of vehicles than what we are being shown.
Sure. We are not talking about the number of vehicles. I'm talking about the position, the position of taking the vehicle. The vehicles were told is about 50 or 100.
No, I was talking about the focus.
Okay.
The focus was just straight like that, capturing fewer vehicles. But what is on the social media is it has a broader focus, meaning somebody could have used a ladder or taken the picture not from
Mr. Chai, I know you want to make comment,
not from a window.
I know you want to make commentary of it, but following this very broadcast on social media and mainstream media, the excessive criticism against government is, following those very actions by the BNI, there's a certain connotation into the narrative that there's excessive abuse of incumbency.
Oh, I totally disagree with that.
Why not?
You see, issues that are wrong, as a nation, we should accept that it is wrong.
I don't get you. What's wrong?
You see,
somebody took a photo. Somebody took a photo. If it's wrong, you take another action.
You invade someone's privacy, okay? Now, even after invading the privacy of the person, you go and then impugn criminality into the wrong.
What is criminal about this? If somebody says,
if you go and take pictures of party vehicles, and you say that those party vehicles were vehicles procured for the national civic education.
It's a civil case. Take him to court.
Please.
Not the BNI.
No, this is not an issue where the person was caught red-handed, okay? But then some investigation has to be carried out. And these are investigative institutions. So what is wrong? It is the right thing that has been done.
You should have come from the police, but not the BNI.
So the question I have asked you, I don't know whether you give me, maybe perhaps you thought your answers were appropriate. If this is the action that was taken, somebody took pictures of an activity that was happening on somebody's private property, and so it was an invasion of privacy. At what point then do we have a state institution like the BNI, no mean an institution, a state apparatus like the BNI coming in to take an action?
I have told you that, look, it is not only invading the privacy. Is that okay?
Invading the privacy of the political party that is in government. Is that it? Is that how we have to frame the wordings now?
Look, where the vehicles have been
parked,
it's not the NDC party headquarters. Is that okay? That is a private man's property, okay, where some branding are being done.
So it's the private man who reported the case to the BNI. I mean, we should have been told.
Allow me.
We are saying that it is the minister, right, that reported the case to the BNI.
You go and then do the illegal thing by taking photographs. Is that okay? Fine. But in taking the photographs, you go a step further to impugn criminality.
What is criminal about that?
Into something that you have even done illegally.
That was his opinion.
It is a criminal thing.
But
you see,
but is it not?
You put this on social media to create.
It's an opinion.
Please.
To create what?
You see?
To create what?
Look, Honorable, if somebody comes to your house, is that okay? and you are in your bathroom.
We do understand that point. Why do we need the BNI to come in? Why do we need the BNI to come in?
You will never be happy.
Why do we need the BNI to come in?
No. Something can be done.
Okay, let me ask you this. Supposing
it was in the yard.
Supposing my private property, I'm asking you this. Yes, it is an invasion of privacy. I think that we all agree it's an invasion of the privacy of whoever had the compound.
Oh, it is for the invasion, fine.
But I'm asking, what role do we need the BNI to play in all this? If it's an invasion
in it,
and so the BNI can come in.
Is it not an investigative institution?
What therefore
is it not an investigative institution mandated by law?
Now my last point. It seems as if for the whole narrative, the NPP is also trying to play into it, make a lot of politics out.
No, we are analyzing it that if it were to be the NPP, we wouldn't have gone to the BNI. We would simply have come out with a statement that, oh, we are sorry, the vehicles don't belong to NCCE. The vehicles belong to MPP. And we are branding them because the place has a space. And we are using the space to brand our vehicles. What's wrong about that? Everybody is aware that there is an impending election, right? So why do you...
So you don't have a difficulty with the vehicles being branded on the compound?
The compound is...
Don't you have a difficulty with somebody elevating himself and taking photographs with somebody's...
These days, because of the social media, people are curious, people want to put a lot of things on the social media.
Well, it's not everything that is done on social media, that's right.
Excuse me, if it were to be, like he was saying, somebody in his private part, in his private room having his bath, or if it were to be something in connection with voyeurism or something like that, yes, fine. Everybody would have said, oh, it was not done with the right motive. But the election is pending. There are vehicles being branded in an open yard. Oh, this is happening. I'm curious.
Let's put this very issue on the back burner because we know that a lot more analysis will be done on other platforms on this very channel, on this very subject.
But MPP wouldn't have gone to...
But curiously, talking about what the MPP won't do, is also issuing a statement saying they are boycotting at least 2 media stations for allegedly not having favorable discussions on a balanced level. And so, well, taking cognizance of what the MPP inputs also need to be. And following that very statement that was signed by, is it Mr. Anthony Cabo? And saying that there are 2 presenters on 2 stations here in Accra, OKFM and NEET FM, who seem not to be having a lot more circumspection in their moderation of programming, are also not fair and balanced in their moderation of programming on OK and NEET FM. And so the statement says that appearance of MPP sympathizers, communicators, officials on that very station or stations having suspended until further notice. Why do you take such an action? I thought the MPP, pro-democracy, pro-rule of law, pro-media pluralism, you should rather be a lot more empathizing to what the media should do and is doing.
We are the pro-strategists.
Okay, pro-strategy. Yeah. So it's part of the strategy?
Yes, of course. And this is not the first time that a political party or a corporate body is disassociating from patronizing a particular radio station, one or the other. Yes.
When was that?
NDC disassociated their activities from a whole multimedia.
Oh, you mean our parent company?
Yes.
Great.
Multimedia. And if we are being selective here, what's wrong?
I remember at the time when the NDC took that very decision, there was a barrage of criticism coming from both civil society, so as even the MPP on the actions that were taken by the NDC. Yeah. If it was wrong then, why is it right now?
No, I'm not saying it's right now, but I'm saying that it is our democratic right as a corporate body to decide at any point in time going forward towards the election what to do and what not to do. I don't think it's going to be something permanent, but in the interim, our head of communication is saying that, hey, Jack, we've realized this. Let's put a halt on activities as far as patronizing these two stations are concerned. We will take it up with whoever is concerned, right, and thrash matters out and come back to the public, right, and tell the public that, oh, we have sorted matters out, and therefore, what do we have to do? Let's go and patronize these stations again. The caveat is not permanent. So I'm saying that.
Until further notice.
Until further notice.
Okay.
And it's not the first time.
If it's a strategy, Mr. Tetechai, then it seems to be working. Already we've had the management of the Despite group of companies come out with a statement to say that, well, they're very much surprised at the action of the NPP, but do want them to have a rethink on their position and start making appearances on the station if they can. It seems to be working. If it's a strategy, a very good strategy, don't you think?
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, whether it's a strategy or not, coming from a communication background, I would say it is not a strategy that is positive.
To you?
Oh, please allow me.
Well, the NDC
Some
took
political
it. He just
parties
cited.
have done it before. It doesn't mean that because some political parties have done it before, it is right when we also do it. You see, in politics, we need to be criticized, and we need to be criticized constructively, okay? Sometimes the criticism is very hard, yes, based on your actions and inactions, okay? But as a political party with good communicators, you should be able to also come out with issues where you feel you are being maybe not well treated, because definitely opportunity will be given to you to also say your side of the story. If it were to be a case where you are not being given the opportunity to say your side of the story, then you can come out to say this is your line of action, because you are not being allowed to be what? Heard. Do you get it? And that would be unfair journalism, okay? Because when you say something about somebody, the person has a right to a rejoinder. Is that not it?
Yes, it is.
And these things are adverse to all political parties. If you malign me on your studio, you need to give me the right to also respond, okay? So that opportunity is there. But the thing is, you see, if we become intolerant as political parties, it's a sign of danger for this country.
And the NPP is an intolerable
no matter
one.
which political party.
You're talking
if you cannot tolerate views, then you better fold up and then go and sleep.
But if I remember vividly, the NDC has constantly had concerns, especially with some hosts, some platforms on some media stations about the way the programming is conducted.
So you don't have to complain.
Of the programming.
No,
so it's not
you
as
don't
if
have to complain.
It's not as if this is an isolated case.
You see, what I'm saying is that as political parties, we have to allow ourselves to be criticized. Because one, when we form government, we are the ones holding the national purse. Is that not it? Distributing, ensuring there is economic growth.
Well, they are in opposition, they are not forming government.
And so they shouldn't be criticized when they do the wrong things. No, please.
You let him land and then we'll...
So they shouldn't be criticized when they do the wrong things. Because you see, it is the path that you chart. It is going, the criticism is going to be based on the path that you have taken. But you see, when the person criticizes you as a political party, you also have the equal chance to also respond.
It's not like that.
Okay.
You see,
Mr. Siama, for all justifications, one would want to know, curiously, what will be the merit for which you would take this very action, beyond the subject of just on the face level, not being circumspect, balanced and fair on programming on the channels?
Yeah, actions of this nature, I may say, are not taken instantly, right? It must be from a concatenation of events that...
So you've monitored over
excuse
time?
me, generally, I'm talking in general terms, a concatenation of events, and then before one takes an absolute or a conclusion of that nature. What is happening is the body concerned with the communication of our activities as a corporate body.
That's the communication director.
That is the point. Has come out to say that, hey, for now, this is what has been realized, and it is not a matter of debate on equal platforms with other colleagues or other parties, but as hosts, you have your own time. The airtime is yours. You use it as and when you like, whether people are there or people are not there. The way you ask questions, the way you even comport your activities behind the console is solely controlled by you. Now, we are saying that, yes, we think for now we should hold activities with these stations concerning these very particular programs. Per studies that they have conducted, for now they think we shouldn't be patronizing the programs of this nature, not the station, but the programs of these individuals at this point in times in the day.
That's blackmail, according to the criticism.
No, it is not.
You're trying to let them kowtow to
not at all. They are persons of themselves, and they know what they are doing. You see,
are you saying they are biased?
They are not. Well, I cannot say that for now.
Well, by inference, having that very statement issued out in the public connotes to the ordinary Ghanaian that those two individuals who have great reputation in the industry are very much biased towards your political party and its ideology.
Yeah. Yes, it may be that they lack some information about our party.
You're sure?
Excuse me. Oh, it can be that. No, we are.
You know those two individuals, don't you?
I know them very, very well.
I think they're very biased towards your political party by way of your interaction with them over the years.
I can't sit here and give
but your
my
party has taken a very serious position towards them, especially on the platforms.
I'm now in the shoes of the release. So I
do understand the position in which you are and what you have to do. But then if people have cultivated a certain reputation over time, and your political party comes out to say their programming and their personality should not be patronized, that also impugns on their reputation as being fair and balanced and adequately very much circumspect journalists as they should be.
I don't think to a larger extent this is the description that the party...
Well, that's what it means. What else does it mean?
Wants them to wear. But what I'm saying is it is not indefinite, it is not perpetual, it is not absolute, but as I said earlier on that, such situations call for one-on-one discussion, right? To pollinate ideas, right?
So that's what will be taking place on the background?
Yeah, definitely.
Or you're assuming?
In such circumstances,
Somebody will say you're just being diplomatic about it.
No.
But I'll come back to you. Mr. Theophilus Setecha, why do you political parties want to gag the media to go according to what your dictates should be?
It is wrong.
Why do you do it? We all know it is wrong. Why do you do it?
No, but as a radio or TV station, you shouldn't also allow yourself to be intimidated. Because you see, as political parties, definitely,
you shouldn't allow yourself to send information out there for people to believe that what you are doing is being calculated against a group of people or a corporate body.
When it's my turn,
no, he is skewing it against our party.
He's making a submission. You're heckling him.
You see, what I'm saying is, as radio stations, publishing houses, and TV stations,
they shouldn't be intimidated.
You shouldn't be intimidated.
You think that's what the MPP wants to do? Wants to intimidate them?
Want you to do, okay? Because it is the citizenry, or it is the public purse that you want to ensure that those things are protected.
Those two individuals, have you dealt with them in such a process?
With two individuals?
Kwame Etikesi or Mr. Etikesi, as well as Adakabre from Portman. So it's their programs as well as their personalities which have been cited in that very release. Have you dealt with them before?
No, yes. I've been going to Adakabre with them.
Oh, I've been on the show.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
Look.
Have you dealt with them before? Do you think that they are biased?
They are critical.
They are critical.
Yes.
And so that is why. And you think the MPP doesn't like criticism?
Oh, I will not say that.
Okay.
You see, but sometimes when the kitchen is too hot, the only thing you need to do is to get out of it.
So that's what they are doing.
Okay.
They are getting out in the meantime. They are taking a refresher break.
Maybe. Okay. Just to re-strategize and then come back. But what I'm saying is that as political parties, we should allow ourselves to be examined.
But your party doesn't even seem to take criticisms kindly, does it? The NDC. For example, you are just seen having your cars being photographed as they were being branded.
Just this incident.
Almost like some instances.
You see,
there
are issues.
And if this was brought up by mainstream media and not social media, I'm sure you'd have taken the station on.
Listen, we are not taking you on for broadcasting what has
because the source was from social media.
No. Listen to me.
They'll go to BNI.
Oh, Esama, don't do this. You see,
I don't know him for heckling, but he seems to be heckling.
You are not being taken on, okay, because you are reporting this story, okay. The gentleman was being taken on because he invaded someone's privacy.
No, we're not.
He went about to
because he doesn't have much
criminality.
To say about this.
All right.
Do you get it? That is why.
Now we have to wrap up the discussions on this. I would want to ask you a very sincere question, Mr. Kwame Siama. Sincerely, if you were the head of the communication directors of a political party, would you take such an action? Sincere, just answer in a word, yes or no, and then before you continue.
Yes, I might have, because the point is you build a strategy towards a goal, right? And if there is something that is shooting
that is inhibiting or truncating the objectives of
that is the point. What do you have to do? You have to stop it, right? And rethink, refresh, renew, and restore yourself to the situation. Okay. You just don't have to say, "Oh, let go." No.
If you were in a position, would you have taken that?
Not at all. Let me tell you.
Don't tell me. That would be Theophilus Setechai, is a member of Parliament for Ablekuma Central Constituency. And thanks for joining me, Theophilus. You're on recess, aren't you? The two of you.
Yeah, yes.
Good. I see you look very refreshed.
Yeah.
You're always stressed when you're at work. Are you being worried by the constituents? Not you. You're not.
Yes.
He's a strategic MP, I call him. And Kwabna Mankwe Siama is a member of Parliament for Fantia-Kwanoff constituency in the Eastern region. Thanks for joining me, sir.
Yeah, it's normal for my constituency. It's normal.
You get hassled by your constituents?
Oh, no, yeah, sometimes, but not always.
All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, Gladys already will be here with a lot more entertainment, so do stay on.